What's up, guys? Devin Zander here with my co-host
Clayton Johnson.
and we are the motherfucking
Rowdy Boys.
We're the rowdiest fucking boys in the building, ladies and gentlemen, dogs, women. Wait, did I say women already? Grandmothers. You know that the grandmas are watching for those sweet Clayton muscles. Guys, he's probably like four times bigger than the last time you saw him. He's not.
Guys, we have a lot to talk about. Yeah,
we do have a lot to talk about.
we're back, baby.
We're back. We've been gone for a minute,
us?
and we got some really fucking good guests lined up too. So a lot of cool shit coming. But let's let them know, like Clayton, where you been, dude? You've had a busy time. What's been going on?
Ever since we left the Rowdy Boys, I know the nation has been starving for us to come back,
And maybe literally starving because of inflation.
Yeah, we've been very busy, man. Sold a company, and yeah, that's what's up.
Did we do a fist bump? I can't remember.
So yeah, I mean, we could talk about that, but I will tell you that, man, going through selling a company is a journey. If anybody's ever done that, you know what's up.
Don't recommend.
And if you, it's not that I don't recommend it. It's an amazing thing. I think everybody should do it at some point.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like a crazy journey that's like emotionally,
taxing.
Exactly.
Well, it's like one of those things where you only have so much mental bandwidth, right? And when you're doing something like that, it's like it takes up all of it, right? Because you're worried, you're concerned. Is the deal going to go through? Are we going to get the right price? Are they going to have more stipulations? Blah, blah, blah. Are they going to see something in the due diligence? Blah, blah, right?
Yeah.
It's like it takes up every single fiber of your brain power, right? Or neuron, whatever the fuck,
Yeah.
And you just can't function.
Yeah. So, I mean, a couple of things that I learned is like one, first of all, we did a private equity exit, which is, I mean, this is super interesting. I didn't even like really know that this existed. So if you're going to get acquired, there's often two types of companies that can do it. One is a strategic company, meaning like, they are going to absorb you into their business because they can use you or something. Maybe they have an ancillary business where you're selling to the same type of clients. So that's like a strategic exit. The other type of buyer, once you get up to a certain revenue level, not all private equity plays in this space. Actually, there's more private equity that are bigger acquirers than smaller. But private equity, what they do is they professionally buy and sell companies, right? So what they do is they have, it's not even their money a lot of times. It's the money of like, foundations or pension plans or universities, stuff like that. They take hundreds of millions of dollars. They create a fund, and then they professionally go out and they buy companies. They invest in them. They have a bunch of quants, or like basically people that analyze the business to show you like where you can actually grow and stuff, because a lot of businesses aren't that advanced.
Yes.
And once you put these like super business geniuses in there, they can like analyze all your data and figure out like, if you change pull this weird lever, then we can increase margin, decrease churn, and whatever. So anyway, private equity buyers, it's interesting. They professionally buy and sell companies. So that's the type of buyer that we had. And that's a very interesting experience. So if you're out there thinking about who's going to buy my company one day,
a lot of different options.
There's a lot of different options than what you might think. And if you're big enough, usually like 10 million and EBITDA, that's when the private equity really starts to become an option for you. So anyway, very interesting journey. It takes like 8 months, 9 months to actually
stressful
do that.
Months. Still easier than buying a house in Colombia.
Yeah, exactly. But that's where I've been. And now we're back with some new stuff. Yeah.
Boom.
That's what's up, man. What have you been working on?
Well, before I get to that, I just want to ask one question. If you had one piece of advice to anyone who is selling their company, what would it be? Or thinking of selling their company eventually?
There's so much.
You got to pick one.
One is be extremely organized in all the stuff that you don't think that matters. Specifically, not that you don't think that this matters, but specifically make sure your finances are like really tight. Our finances,
stuff you don't think matters. Your finances,
Let me
rephrase.
Let me rephrase. Our finances were fine. We are a profitable company. It's one of the reasons that we were able to sell.
Yes.
When I talk to other people, their bookkeeping isn't tight, their records aren't tight, you know what I mean? So like this shit has to be so dialed in. And you have to have so much data, because when you go through an exit, you're going to have like a zillion questions of due diligence, right?
Yep.
They're going to ask you everything under the sun, even stuff you don't know about your company. You're like, I guess we should probably know these numbers. It'll give you a level of in-depth insight to your business that you never even knew you had before. But at a basic level, most businesses owners are just concentrate on just, doing the things or
like
whatever.
day-to-day.
But as you grow your business, you got to get more and more dialed on every single thing that you are doing. So finance is one part of that, but that also plays into basically systems. One of the big things is like you got to have a sellable business to be able to sell, and that means like if you are not in the business, would it still be able to run? Yeah. That means you need systems for everything from marketing to sales to product development to finance. Like everything has got to be systemized. It's one of the reasons that we were able to do that, and it turned out so well. But you got to dial it in if you're thinking about selling. So I would say from the beginning of your business, make sure all that stuff is dialed in. Think about growing your business with a systems mindset. Have systems and documented operations for every single thing that you do.
Yep.
And that will create a sellable business. So I guess that's my advice.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's what's up, baby.
Boom, boom.
Man, I was going to say something. I totally forgot. What the fuck? Oh, my God. Man,
you need more kratom, dude.
You got to remember.
Get in the...
Well, dude, that's absolutely massive. Congrats.
Thank
you for you, bro. I had something to say, and I'll probably remember it like in 3 days. You asked what I've been up to. My journey's been a lot less exciting. Still working over at Scup. Got some new stuff in the works too, which we'll save that for later. A little tease in there, a little open loop. But still working at Scup. It's been a really good year. I did show you our profit and loss. So as you could see within our company, our P&L our profit in that P&L
selling
is way
courses
up.
And doing webinars and all that stuff is still rocking.
Yeah, we got our profit. It's way up like this year. It's been really good. I made a lot of strategic decisions with our staff as well as where we're allocating money. And
Dude,
then
I don't know if you want to talk about
our
this now, but I want to talk about how you added a back end to you added that upsell offer.
Yeah, we can get into that in a future episode.
Okay.
Let's just keep,
because
because that's something we can go on a whole episode about.
Yeah,
We already had 3 different topics for this episode, so I don't want it to be
okay.
this.
I want to talk about this. I want to talk about that later though, because
it's
so interesting. If you guys have like a front end offer right now, and it's a great way to do your front end leads and run paid traffic to that. But if you just add a back end offer to that, you can immediately increase.
I'm pretty sure I had it running when we were doing the podcast before. I had to have mentioned it.
Okay, maybe, but we should talk about it on the.
Yeah, we can talk about it, and then we can talk about the math that I was just using earlier today.
Oh yeah, dude, so many good things.
How we plan on doubling.
If you want to see that type of stuff, comment on this below so we know what you guys want to see.
Yeah, to all of our viewers that haven't seen us in a year, we're back. If you're still alive, comment below.
Yes.
But other than that, just working. We got some really great stuff going on over in webinar land. Still crushing.
Oh yeah.
We're working on. It's been ups and downs with any market. We had some months where it just pops off, and we don't know why the fuck it pops off. We just thank the gods that it's popping off and scale up spend. And then months where it's a little less chill, and we have to focus more on our back end. But it's fine. We're finding nice ebbs and flows, and we're getting good stable revenue. So everything's really good. The biggest struggle I've been having is allocating time lately, which don't worry, we'll get to more at the end. But it's a work in progress. Something I'm figuring out along the way. And
yeah, I want to talk about these types of things because I think a lot of people are always looking for the new whiz bang crazy thing that's coming out. But a lot of times to really get to this next level, what we have to focus on is we have to go back to this basics, man. And these basics are super core. I heard Sam Ovens in his higher level mastermind. He says that he talks about sleep and stuff.
Yeah.
These.
And Alex too,
it doesn't get
stuff,
crazy more advanced crazy pixel funnel machine insanity. It's more all right, how do we get ourselves performing at the best that we can? Because you are you. And the ultimate version of you is somewhere inside of you, and we need to unlock that. And a lot of times, that's focused on the basics, baby.
Yeah, I'll do my best. Okay, so this is the Sam course. Sam Ovens course buying experience. You go to a checkout page, you hit the thank you page. Video 1 starts. Well, guys, being an entrepreneur, it's about a lot of things, but the most important thing is just getting, sleep. That is the experience. I hope I crushed the voice. And
dude, I don't even think that was the right accent or anything.
Oh, sorry. Steven does it really well, actually.
Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah.
So let's take it forward a little bit. What that's what we've been up to. Now, what is going on in the world right now? And there's something that has really changed. I mean, it started 2 years ago, but it's accelerating. It's getting worse. And it is what we call, I'll let you take it away,
the attention economy, or you say
ADHD economy.
Okay, so actually, this is actually one of the reasons that the podcast stopped existing. Okay, so the story is like this, and this is great for marketers out there wondering, like, why is everything kind of slowly going down? Wow. And so our podcast unlocked this insight that changed everything, and we think we've spent a long time trying to figure this out, and we think we've cracked the thesis for how everyone can really start making their marketing like highly effective going forward. Okay. And the story goes like this. So we did the podcast, right? And we were trying to get it on YouTube. And if you guys have noticed, like, there's a big, like, whopping, like, 100 subscribers.
140.
Right?
140.
So the podcast, while highly entertaining and highly
profitable,
highly profitable, extremely good-looking dudes.
Biggest podcast in the universe, if I recall.
Somehow didn't take off on YouTube. So what we did is we started investigating, why it really wasn't taking off on YouTube. And we came across a cool channel. You guys should definitely check it out, called Film Booth. Film Booth. Please don't stop the video and look at it right now. Save it for later. But Film Booth is sick. And Film Booth basically shows like how to grow things on YouTube and how to get attention on YouTube. So check this out. YouTube, the way it works is one of the biggest factors in the algorithm is retention, meaning like whoever starts watching your video, you want them to continue all the way to the end. And when you look at our podcast videos, it looks like this. Right? People start it and they
it's like a slide at the water park,
right?
Yeah,
exactly. And we're like, okay, why is that? And you look at what the difference is between videos that are doing well and our videos, and we realized that, to keep attention on YouTube, you have to be extremely visually entertaining to the point of literally the editing, literally the J-cuts, literally just all these little attention things to keep every 3 seconds. The level of competition that we're competing against is crazy high. I mean, we're competing against Mr. Beast. And that led us to understand that your content, if you really want it to perform well on a channel, it really needs to create that native experience. That's why a podcast, which is not that visually entertaining despite our good looks.
And your huge muscles.
And my huge muscles, is probably not going to work on YouTube. And you might say, wait, well, what about Joe Rogan? Joe Rogan crushed on YouTube. It's like, well, here's the thing. I'm sorry, but you're not Joe Rogan.
There's always going to, and the way I like to word it is there's always exceptions to the rule.
Exactly.
But do you want to rely on you being the exception? Like, you can't rely on that because data is against you.
Yeah. And so we were like, well, our podcast isn't really going to work on YouTube. We're still going to upload it there. We still love it. But we do have a new plan for the podcast, and we'll talk about that later. But anyway, this idea of the attention economy is like, wow, you really got to keep attention. You got to keep it in many different ways. And every form of media that you put out, it needs to be for that channel, whatever is working on that channel.
It needs to match what the viewers are there to do, what they're used to seeing on that platform and things like that, right?
And so we got to get marketers in this mindset of like, if you were just doing the same things you were before, no, you got to shift your mentality and everything that you do, from the videos that you put out to the content that you produce to whatever you're doing. You got to first think about how to get the attention. Okay, you want to pick it up from here?
Well, yeah. Here's the big thing: is we've switched, and this is the whole idea of the attention economy, right? Is we're no longer in a monetary economy. What I mean by that is, you used to compete with people on, who would get the monetary transaction, right? People are buying from ads, and your competitors are trying to get them to give them money, and you're trying to get them to give you money. Now, before you can even do that, you have to make an attention transaction first, okay?
Exactly.
Because COVID changed everything. Before, your competitors were probably the people within your niche. You probably didn't even consider, so let's pretend you were a BizOp offer. You probably, if you were selling an e-com product, you probably only considered your competition to be other e-com products. You didn't consider the people who are making money doing Kindles or services or agencies. You didn't even consider them your competition. But now they're your competition too. Not just that though, Also, you have TikTok, YouTube, Pornhub, OnlyFans. All these are your competition as well, because when COVID happened, the way people lived their lives just changed drastically, because people were locked in their home for 12 to 14. I mean, honestly, like some people 12 to 14, like 20 hours a day minimum, actually, for most people during COVID. And what they were doing,
people were stuck inside their houses for months on end.
And what they were doing is they were just scrolling their phone. They were on TikTok. They were doing this. They were doing that. Blah blah blah.
And that completely fucked their attention span.
Attention spans are gone. Top that with a lot of people started their own like coaching businesses. Like the amount of coaches, influencers, blah blah blah, all that stuff during this period just went up astronomically. Yeah. And now what we have is tens of thousands of different things, all just like grabbing for your prospects' attention. They all want the attention. They're following people on Twitter who are tweeting. They're getting their attention. They're getting emails. That's their attention. Their new Pornhub account that they follow just posted a new video, which is maybe like a little extreme. But the point is there's so many different ads. There's so many different things. There's so many different
producing. There's like instantly accessible.
Yes. And now there's like 20 new streaming platforms compared to what there were before. There's just so many different things that want your prospects' attention. So before you could ever get money from a cold prospect or even a warm prospect, you now need a way to get their attention first.
Okay, so what is the solution for marketers out there today? What do they need to do?
Dude, well, there's a lot of different ways to do it, and I think we could break all these down into their own episodes. Yeah. We can kind of go over a few of them right now. But the biggest, most important thing, well, it's a few things, obviously, but being more transparent, letting people know who the real you is, because now, since there's so many options and they're all saying the same thing, like let's go to a BizOp example. Hey, do you want to see how you can get rich? Hey, get rich, blah, 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 blah. Oh, start an agency. Like you were talking to Sierra on call just now about how all the ClickFunnels gurus is like, there's tons of, it's the same shit over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Everyone's funnel hacking each other too.
So how can you be different? You just be you.
You have to be you,
And you have to be ruthlessly you. And in the past, I would say things like keep your politics out of business and all that, but it's not like that anymore. If you are a person who's interested in something and you have values and you stand for something, you kind of got to put it out there, all right? And that will allow people to connect with you and turn into raving fans. And that way you will stand out among a sea of the same, okay? Just by being you.
Yeah, so be you. I think the second one we got to talk about is entertainment.
Yep.
Period. People used to put out valuable content. That's good, but that is no longer the standard. The standard is now not valuable content. It has to be valuable and entertaining. Yeah. I would argue that it probably should have always been valuetainment, basically.
Yeah, edutainment.
Edutainment, right?
Yeah.
But now I think it is table stakes. If you want to get attention, you must create valuable content in an entertaining way.
Yep.
That's why on the next episode of Rowdy Boys, we're going to be coming in with cowboy costumes.
Yeah, right. We're not doing that. But, I mean, it's not that difficult either. The most important thing here is don't be afraid to be you. And if you are a decent person, a lot of the times, most people are entertaining. Learn how to make a joke. Learn how to not take life too seriously. Don't just stick to the script. And this is a good example. Yeah. We have a client that we're working with we're helping him out with his ads and his funnel. And you know, we were going through his ad copy and we're going through his recording and the editing, and it was really good. Like the script was good, the editing was amazing, and it was still kind of boring, you know, because it's just like, again, kind of afraid to be yourself. When I say things, I'm always throwing little jokes in there, and I talk about my grandma a lot because it's like easy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, look, if you can't do this, I don't know where I'm going with this, but like it's so easy. You can program your VCR. So if you're anything like my grandma who can't program her VCR, she can still do this. Blah blah blah.
Dude, this is something that's actually hard for me to do. Like I have a hard time. Like I often stick to the script. So I mean, you've had a lot more practice, I think, with trying to be naturally you on camera.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
like,
it's just sorry.
Yeah, no. I was just saying it's hard for me. I'm sure like a lot of people. You know, you sit down, you think about what's valuable to your audience, and then you do that. But then you look at it and you're like, it's just isn't. it's not entertaining enough. It's not charismatic enough. It's not reaching through and grabbing the people like I need to, because you look at the competition with Mr. Beast and Ryan Trahan, or however you say his name, and like all these sick YouTubers that have insanely entertaining and charisma exuding and laughter and jokes and sick editing. Like, that's what we're competing with now. So we got to find ways to be like that.
I mean, it's definitely easier said than done.
Yeah.
But the most important thing that you can do is don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to be the real you and let people see that. And you just have to practice. I mean, when I'm like saying jokes in an ad or in a webinar or something, I don't write them down beforehand. I don't like, they're not scripted or anything. I could, but
some people I might need to, you know?
Yeah, and maybe you do that. It comes naturally to me. I'm like, or even when Matt, my partner, is talking during a webinar, sometimes I'll like hear him say something. I'm like, oh, this would be a good point to make a joke. Yeah. You know, kind of like even what you were saying earlier, like you've been dying or starving for Rowdy's Boy content. And I'm like, or, you know, starving in general because of inflation, right? It's like, well, how can I make a joke out of something, right? And I guess it's something, to me, it seems easy because it just comes naturally. But doing things like that, it really breaks up the monotony, because like, you know, the example we were using with the ad is when you're creating an ad, your job is to, number one, get the click, but sometimes you need people to digest the message before they'll click. So every single part of your ad, its objective is to get them to watch the next 3 seconds. So it's like, okay, we got them to watch for 3 seconds. Now I need to do something that'll get them to watch for 3 seconds more. And then I need to get them to watch for 3 seconds more.
I think this is important, man. Like, down to literally this. I didn't understand this. And when we were looking at the YouTube editing, it's literally down to like such that minute level of like keeping the cuts like this, like just to get another 3 seconds of attention. That's what that's the level you have to be at if you want to compete.
Yeah, it's definitely like, it's getting harder, but the awesome part is the people who get it right are going to crush.
Yeah, if you understand this right now and you start applying it to your marketing, you're going to see things starting to turn around.
And you're still early on this. Yeah. Most people do not understand this yet. And we can throw out like some examples. I guess if you go to go.roezan.com/AC-V1, you can see how to do it yourself.
We'll link it below.
Now, we do have like a little course on this kind of stuff. We're going to release more episodes on the podcast, and we'll go through as much of this as we can. We'll probably break down everything for free, but like if you want in a format that is easy to digest and walks through everything, there is a course. It's $27.
Yeah, it's called Ad Engage, and we'll link it below the video if you want to check it out.
Yeah, but let's just keep it going. So we've already had, what were the two that we covered so far?
So be yourself and be entertaining.
Yep. And the next one is really just providing, this one I actually learned from Steven, a really good friend, Steven Summers. And it's really just
genius,
going above and beyond to provide value for your customers, but you also have to mix it with point 1 and 2, okay? So now you really, and the way that we do it is we just do multiple free live calls per week with our paying customers, okay? So they have to have paid us at least $9.97, but it's just the type of call where we get on and we provide value for an hour, which is not hard. Anyone can do this part. However, I am unapologetically me on these calls, and they're entertaining because I'm there having fun. You know?
So you're saying it's something different. It's not like just another like vow, or it's not another. It's just like another video in your course. It's literally a special thing that's outside of the normal.
Yes, I'm not talking at them. There's like no set curriculum. I let the people decide what is it you guys want to cover, and
these are often like personal development.
Yes, and that's where I was going to go next. Okay. Yeah. I want people to feel like they know me. I want them to feel like I'm a friend. I want them to feel like I'm a family member. I want them to feel like I'm someone they can trust. So on these calls, I'm sharing a lot of hard lessons I learned in my life. And again, you need to be radically you and transparent. So what I'm doing is I'm sharing stories about how I overcame like alcoholism and how that affected me. I talk about like my mom dying, like all these really intimate personal things. But if you want to stand out, right now, when there's more competition than ever and people's attention spans are low, you need to be okay doing these types of things, okay?
I like that, man. this is kind of leads into like being vulnerable. Like being
Exactly,
yourself is being vulnerable. And they say that true confidence isn't saying I'm the best, I'm the best. True confidence is the ability to actually show something that's wrong with you or show some imperfections. Because that's how people make human personal connections, when they can see like, hey man, this person struggled. Well, I'm struggling too. Because everyone's got a struggle in their life.
And a lot of our struggles are very similar. So when you struggle with something, how you got through that and what you learned from it can be life-changing for someone else. But the side effect of this is people begin to trust you. They see you're a real person. They feel comfortable with you. They like you. They love what you've gone through. They love that you're different from everyone else. And they trust you. They buy more from you. Your customer lifetime value goes up.
I see this as crossing that chasm from being just like some dude I bought a course from I'm now in their circle, you know, I'm a friend. Because my friends, they don't need to get my attention. Like everybody else is competing for my attention, but if a friend texts me, like they got my attention.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So you're crossing that threshold.
Yep, it makes you really stand out. And Dan Kennedy had like some sort of saying about this too, but I can't remember what it was. But he said some story about
subscribe to Rowdy Boys.
Yeah, he said subscribe to Rowdy Boys. Hit the button below to like, comment, subscribe, and if you're on Apple Podcasts, subscribe. If you're on Apple Podcasts, subscribe and leave it a review. If you're on Spotify, subscribe because they don't like reviews because they're a bunch of cucks. But Dan Kennedy said like, my customer John, he thinks we're best friends. He knows everything about me in my life. I don't know who John is. I don't know him, but he knows everything about me. He tells his friends about me. He tells his family about me, and blah 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 blah. I can't remember the exact story. But that's like a way that Dan has always operated his business. And it's the same premise. Like people know him. They know what he's interested in. They know what's going on in his life. They know his wife. They know when he's sick, all that. And Dan Kennedy's, I mean, I don't know how much revenue their business makes, but it's not a small amount. And it's worked well for him. And it will work well for you too.
And I think this leads into maybe one of the most important points in the ways that people can break through the noise.
Yep.
And also leads to our big announcement.
Big announcement and reveal. So this is something that we were just talking about on a call with a client. One of the best ways to stand out right now.
You have to stand out. We have to get attention. It's absolutely required right now.
It is. And it's doing things that other people aren't willing to do. So number one, it's something as simple as collecting an address when someone buys from you, so you can send them cool shit in the mail. And when they open it, they think like, oh, wow, you know, like I only spent $27 with these guys, and they sent me a t-shirt. They sent me the swag bag. This is amazing. These guys are really going above and beyond. I can tell they care about me. Number two, it's communicating with your customers in a way that other people aren't. And that brings us to...
Roezan!
Okay, people can't understand what you said because you said it in a weird accent. Brings us to our newest venture here in Rowdy Boys land, Roezan. So it is an SMS marketing platform.
ROEZAN.com.
And the reason...
We have now actually joined forces. More than just Rowdy Boys.
Yes, more than just friends, more than just lovers. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. If Patty's watching this, my wife, I'm totally kidding. We're not lovers. Yeah. But so essentially a few years ago, back in 2020, I noticed that there was a huge shift in the marketplace. COVID was changing things, and I wanted to be ahead of the curve. And that's when I kind of realized that, like, man, it's important to start building relationships with your customers. And guys, I know that was pretty loose coverage of all those different things. We'll dedicate like episodes to each of those sections. Right now, we kind of just wanted to do a podcast, get it out, and kind of start getting back in the flow of things. Yep. This is more of just like a catching up with you episode. So number one, I would like to apologize for probably how shitty the podcast looks. Hopefully we at least sound okay. Number two, the lack of structure. I promise we'll do better next time. Number three, we'll have it set up differently so it does look better. I know I mentioned that. But yeah, we just wanted to get on here, and we wanted to get back in the flow of things. When we want to start getting a cadence and like schedule going again, so we're here. So we just wanted to like say fuck it, and we just get it out there.
Hell yeah!
But back in 2020, I was like, man, I want to bond with my customers, and that's when I started to realize that if I could just I don't need to get hundreds of thousands of customers a year. I just need to get thousands of really core customers who buy from me over and over and over and over and over again. And I realized the way to do that, it's simple. It's like you just build relationships. There's no other way about it. You get people results, and then you build relationships with them. So we tested out a bunch of different SMS marketing platforms at my company, Scup, and none of them integrated super well in our tech stack. Like I had to use Zapier and do all these different things, get the duct tape out.
By the way, I love Zapier. So no hate on Zapier.
Zapier is amazing,
no
but I wanted everything to be native. I have hundreds of Zaps that I've made there, and it's really good. It works well, but I didn't want to rely on it. I wanted something that was easy, that didn't require much time. I could just go on my automations and ActiveCampaign and send a text. And then more importantly, because I know ActiveCampaign has SMS built in, but I wanted to see what people responded with so I could respond or have my sales team or my support team respond. Right now, our sales team handles it. And actually build those connections with customers where they think they're like talking with us, where they are talking with us. Maybe they think they're talking with me personally or something, but where they are talking with us and they can feel heard. Because one way to really stick out, especially in like the biz op space, is make your customers feel heard, because they've been talked at so many times and sold so many times, and then they have their own concerns and their own things and their own thoughts, and they want to express those. So having the ability to do that, I mean, that is something that I really wanted. Yep. And after trying out many different platforms, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It's like, this isn't working. I went to Austin, our partner here at Roezan, and I was like, he's our also CTO, Chief Technology Officer at SCUP. And I was like, dude, we've got this really big need at SCUP, and it's just not being met. How would you feel about building an SMS platform with me? We'll use it internally, and maybe one day if we decide we want to, we can open it to the public. Well, finally decided to open it to the public. But we've been working on this for about the past 1.5 to 2 years, and decided to take it public. Our boy here, Clayton, joined.
That's what's up, baby. Yeah.
Working. We got some really big clients. I don't want to name their names yet because maybe they're not cool with us putting it out there. I don't know. But we got some nice clients that are doing 8 figures in their business already. We got SCUP on it too, so some small clients. And things have been going really well. And what's really great about Roezan, is it's built for course creators. It's built for coaches.
Yes.
So if
you're our vision.
And if you're a course creator or coach and you want a software built just for you, where you can talk with the owners and we'll understand your needs and build an SMS platform that serves you and your business, we're happy to help you with that. And I think that if you just plug SMS into what you're already doing in your business, like even if you don't do these crazy campaigns built around SMS, like if you just plug it into your auto webinars or your abandoned carts or even your webinar reminders, like if you're hosting live webinars and you just use SMS, like we see a 20% increase in attendance just from sending one text message that says, hey, we're starting now, right? Like if you just plug it into your business, you're going to see a lift in revenue. And we're happy to help you do things like that. But
in the attention economy, right now, if that is the number one requirement that everyone needs to focus on, this is literally the easiest way to literally plug something onto your business and immediately start seeing results.
Yeah.
Literally just plug on SMS. And so if you're doing webinars, you're doing anything right now, and you're doing marketing, and you're not doing SMS, come talk to us at Roezan. Whether you end up using Roezan or not, we want to show you what we're doing in our business and how effective it is. A lot of people, they don't think about how many ways that you could use SMS, but it's crazy. You can use SMS to get more people on webinars, attend live events. You can develop relationships because it's like two-way. It's not just one-way blasting. Yep. You can actually chat with your customers, have your SDRs do that. You can also book calls. You can answer. You can use it to get people over the edge. So you do a webinar and there's people that have attended but they haven't bought.
Yeah.
You can segment the list and just send them a text like, hey, did you have any more questions, to get them over the list? So there's a lot of different ways, and we can show you those ways and how it should fit into your business. So if you want to get on Roezan and just plug that into your business, we can help you with all that kind of type of stuff.
And it's just important to understand that the attention economy is here. Things have changed. You get with it or you get left behind. You don't have to use Roezan. There's other platforms. I wouldn't recommend using them because they're not going to support you.
I definitely wouldn't recommend using anything else.
We're definitely trying to specialize in supporting courses.
We have it's a small company. It's new, and we're going above and beyond for everybody that comes in right now.
And something I want you to consider is we talked about why things work and don't work, right? Like, you can't send people from a TikTok ad to a 2-hour webinar because people are there to watch quick 10-second dopamine hits, and then they're not going to watch a 2-hour webinar. It just doesn't work. You have to meet viewers your prospects in the way that they're browsing. How is it, or the way that, the mode they're in? Yeah. What is any person's preferred method of communication right now?
Dude, how do you communicate with your with your friends? How do you communicate with your friends?
How do you communicate with your wife? How do you communicate with anyone?
It's text.
You're doing it over text.
And if you want to keep it, sorry.
I was just going to say, this is how your customers prefer to communicate, and this is an easy way for you to cut across all that noise. You're not competing with other emails in the inbox. No, it's a text message. It's the only one they've gotten in the past hour. All their attention is focused right on you and your message. And we've ran some really cool tests on that. We just posted a video about it on the Roezan YouTube channel. Maybe go check it out. But it's a really cool test on how we sent out an email and we got like 3 book calls from that email. We sent it to like 40,000 people. Then we sent a text that went to about like 6,000 people, okay? And it was a text that said, hey, come see how our student made 600K. Click the link here. And it sent them to that same email, except embedded on a website, right?
Yeah, to explain this so it's clear, you took the same copy that was in the email.
Same exact copy that was in the email.
And I just put it on a web page.
I copied it and I pasted it on a ClickFunnels page. Yep. And then I sent a text to that page. It was the same people. Okay, it was the same people that were on the email list, except a lot less because we didn't have as many phone numbers as we have emails. But it's the same exact people that they all received the email and they didn't book a call. But they saw the text, they clicked the link, and because you have to understand what happens is they received, a text and they've expressed interest. They did like a micro commitment by saying, yeah, I am kind of interested in how that guy made 600K or whatever. And now they actually digest that entire email.
Yeah, they actually get seen.
Yes, because in your inbox, there's like 10,000 different emails. They click on it. They're like, it's kind of interesting, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Maybe I'll click it, maybe not, delete. Yeah. But with text, you're getting a 99% open rate and a 25% click-through rate. You have their unfiltered, full attention, okay? There's no other text to open. There's no other, emails to check. It's just that info that they've already expressed interest in, that they want to see. And when we did that, we sent them to the same email. Nothing was different. Same recipients, same email, except a lot less recipients. And we booked out our entire week.
Boom. That's what's up.
From 3 book calls, which isn't even enough to book an entire day. We have, I think, like 10 call slots per day.
Yeah.
So we went from 3 to like 37 calls booked from one text message.
And the best thing about it, man, like you need the copywriting skills of a 4th grader to be able to.
Yeah. Like literally, like when people write emails, it's like, oh God.
Oh man, I got to hire a $10,000 a month email copywriter to make it sick.
There's hundreds of words, like all these different things. And then my text is just like, hey, I made
dude, we got this thing.
600K. Click here to look. It's insane. So, I guess we might as well just like leave it there for now. We're going to be back for more content. If you want to go learn more about Roezan, just go to roezan.com. We're not here to pitch you. This content is always like purely educational. We come in here to have a good time.
Hell yeah.
Share what we learn. Like we're marketers. We're out there. We're fucking doing it every day.
In the trenches.
Every single thing here isn't theory. It's not this, not that. It's stuff that we test, what we learned along the way, and essentially how we made millions of dollars. So Clayton, I think that's the Rowdy Boys fist bump.
That's what's up.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, ring the bell. If you're on Apple Podcasts, make sure you leave a review as well as subscribe. And if you're on Spotify, the cuckest of cuck platforms,
and we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. The podcast is changing, baby. We got new plans, new stuff. Yeah, like this. You guys are going to love it. We're back in the game, baby.
Yeah, I got a nice guest speaker list on the way. We're going to get back to posting regularly. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Sorry that this, I feel like I should apologize. I feel like this episode wasn't up to par. It's not like the level of content we like to produce, but we really wanted to get out here. We really want to talk with you. We'll be back next week with a guest, actually. So that's going to be fucking sick. I think you guys are going to really enjoy that one. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you.
This is Devin Zander.
Clayton Johnson.
And we are the
Rowdy Boys.
Motherfucking Rowdy Boys. We will see you guys. Oh, fuck. I'm trying to stop it. We'll see you guys next